Hey, what's up? This is Todd Smith. I'm back with another video. In this video, I want to speak about MIDI controllers in the iPad, specifically non-Bluetooth controllers. When Bluetooth is compatible, it's pretty straightforward, on how to get it work. I'm going to focus on wired MIDI controllers, what you need to do to get those working with your iPad. I use a Novation Impulse 49 with my setup, and many people have asked me, how do I get that working within my iPad workflow? And I figured I'd make a tutorial that will teach you how to do that, or pretty much any other MIDI controller that can work with the iPad. Before we jump into this topic, I need to thank the viewers and Patreons of this channel. I wouldn't have motivation to make content every day, and I can't thank you enough for that motivation. Jumping back into the iPad and MIDI controllers. The first requirement for a MIDI controller to work with your iPad is it must be class compliant, meaning that it does not take drivers for it to work. If you need drivers for it to work with your PC or anything else when it comes to software, it will not work with your iPad. Class compliant pretty much means plug and play, so it needs to be a plug and play class compliant device. The Impulse 49 is one of those, and there are many other options that fall into this category. And how you choose to power that MIDI controller becomes really important. Does the MIDI controller power off USB? Does it have its own power supply? If you get a MIDI controller that only has one USB output, meaning that it sends MIDI and power through just one USB cord, you're going to have to power that device via your iPad. And I don't recommend doing that with your MIDI controller. I would definitely try to invest in a MIDI controller that has its own power source and a 5-pin MIDI. This may mean you need to invest in an audio interface, an iRig MIDI, or something of that nature, but I definitely would say do that over just directly connecting the USB into your iPad and having the iPad power that MIDI controller and send MIDI at the same time. Now, I have hooked my Impulse 49 via USB into my iPad while it had power running to it at the same time, and it was able to power the Impulse 49 and play MIDI and all that stuff, but it drained the iPad incredibly fast, even with it plugged into the wall, so I just would not recommend it. So the main things you're looking for are class compliant MIDI controller with its own self-powered, whether that be by plug or USB, and a separate MIDI out 5-pin connection. If you have all those things on your MIDI controller, which I have on my Novation Impulse, you should have a really good MIDI controller to do some really advanced solid setup with your iOS. I have countless jams and videos showcasing the power of this style of setup, and I really hope this tutorial will help some people get their iOS setup into a stronger position. And as always, stay positive, stay creative, support each other. In peace.